What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of More on Money. I, of course, am Blind Mike. You know how every YouTube video you watch on cryptocurrency and finance and the stock market, they all say that it's not financial advice? Well, this show called More on Money, hosted by a blind guy in a hat and sunglasses, also not a financial expert. So I think you know not to take this as financial advice, just a springboard to your own research. For some reason, we have to say that every single time. Also, something we should point out every time is you can check out patreon.com/blindmike for more on money. And a free way you can support the channel is just by subscribing, tapping the notification bell, liking and commenting on these videos. All of that helps the algorithm, helps us get more eyeballs, ironically, on this program. So the crypto market is as green as Reptar's dick. Or was Reptar purple? I can't remember. But it's very green is my point. And nothing but good news as far as crypto is concerned, except there are some slight things that we should look for in the future. But I think the fact that the price hasn't been affected is good news. You guys know about the Biden infrastructure plan that affects crypto. It seems like there's been no real movement. It still has to go through the House, but I have not heard anything as far as that crypto amendment getting tabled. So, keep your eyes on that because that makes it just less beneficial for miners and stakers and really anyone that holds crypto, which I think could be a bad thing. Like I said, it hasn't affected the price yet, but I don't like the sound of it. And I told you about that altcoin daily video where they kind of show you how to go about contacting the right people in order to try and put a stop to that. But the other news as far as mining goes is the algorithm just updated as Bitcoin often does, which does make it, again, less beneficial for miners. Now, because of the China crackdown, mining is sort of expanded to other places. We've seen it here in the United States. So that has been good for mining. But it's just something to note because I know there are personal miners out there. I think a gearhead once reached out to me and told me that they were able to mine a little bit of Bitcoin on their own. I don't know how much electricity that costs. I don't know if it's worth it. I personally don't do it. I, technically stake my Bitcoin, I guess, because, not exactly, not the way real people stake it, but through my BlockFi account, I do do that, which I want to talk about BlockFi in a second as well. But the real news I found interesting today as far as Bitcoin goes, and we've got some Cardano and Ethereum news as well. But Argentina has said, the president of Argentina has said he's open to making Bitcoin legal tender in Argentina. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is because it is good news, but not as good of news as social media and everything will have you believe. I talk about FUD all the time, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, where the media essentially just tries to panic you, and big business and hedge funds and all that try to panic you into selling your Bitcoin so they can gobble it up. I think this is a case of the opposite, where really all he said is we're open to Bitcoin. Now, the amount of people that have said that is insurmountable. Countless people have said they're open to Bitcoin. That doesn't mean they're necessarily adopting it. It doesn't mean they're making it legal tender or any of that. And we've seen the sticking points that El Salvador has had to go through. The IMF said, get the hell out of here. We're not helping you. So they've had to jump through a lot of, legal hoops as far as that goes while they gear up for September. So while it is good news that all these countries, because we've heard the same with, Paraguay and Panama and a bunch of other places, while it is good news that a place like Argentina, who I think their economy was on like this, there's a miserable index where I think they're like one of the second worst economy on the planet or something like that. So Argentina could use some help if they can get it. But like I said, we've seen where that may not be the easiest thing necessarily to get through. So it's a reason for hope, but not a reason that you should be too ecstatic, especially if you're, a short-term holder or anything, which I always say you shouldn't be. I recommend being a long-term investor, but do your own research and, you tell me what you think you should do. As far as Bitcoin goes, let me know in the comments. Now, Cardano, you guys know I'm a Cardano holder as well. And you may have seen, if you pay attention, as I predicted yesterday, Cardano was about $1.86 or something when I said this yesterday. And I said on Friday, expect Cardano to go over $2. It did like clockwork because today Charles Hoskinson gave us a date for smart contracts, September 12th, which made me wonder if September 11th would have been I don't know the day of the week, but it would be funny if September 11th was a Monday and they're like, well, maybe that wouldn't be the greatest look. So September 12th it is for Cardano smart contracts. Now, if we start to hear more companies onboarding with Cardano, that will be interesting. But as I said yesterday, when I said that the price would go above $2, expect a tapering off now. And maybe that'll come today, now that the news is out there, or maybe it won't come until September 12th or, right before that. But there is generally, with news like this, there's a big rush up and then people take profits. So there's, consolidation back down. So that's important to look for with Cardano. And if you don't know what smart contracts are, I explained it yesterday, but essentially it's the most positive thing it does is give people in countries, or in this country, even without bank accounts, the ability to get loans and mortgages and things like that. It makes finance easier, for people who aren't necessarily experts or financial wizards. So that's the moron speak for what smart contracts are on the Cardano network and the Ethereum network, which Jack Dorsey had some interesting things to say about Ethereum on Twitter yesterday. People were comparing him to Elon Musk because he was trolling Ethereum. However, I think what Jack Dorsey was doing was much more tolerable and acceptable and actually interesting, as opposed to Elon Musk, who tweets, sad eyes on a day where the Bitcoin price is down and everyone freaks out. Jack Dorsey actually explained what he was talking about. So if you don't know, Jack Dorsey is I believe he's a Bitcoin maximalist. I don't think he has any other altcoins, which is evident by what he said yesterday. But he's a big Bitcoin guy, big proponent of Bitcoin, evidently bringing green Bitcoin mining to the United States. You've seen Square start to develop a wallet and all sorts of things around Bitcoin. He says Bitcoin's going to change the world, Bitcoin, but not an Ethereum guy. He does, however, say that Ethereum has its benefits, just not what he is focused on. He says people that expect, someone said that you're just worried that Ethereum is going to take out big tech. And he responded to them saying, actually, that's exactly what I want. He says, I want the centralization of big tech. I don't like the monitoring that they have and everything like that. However, he doesn't believe that one singular technology will be able to do that. So the way that a lot of people are banking on Ethereum kind of being like a new internet, essentially. And this is something I've wondered as a Cardano holder. I've often said, does it make sense for me to have Cardano and Ethereum? I mean, it makes sense as far as hedging your bets, but can both exist? Will it be like Coke and Pepsi, or will, when one is determined sort of the winner, will the other be deemed obsolete? And that goes for, Polkadot and VeChain, which I've talked about, and Uniswap, and all these sort of DeFi projects. How many are needed or able for DeFi to be relevant? And Jack Dorsey says it will take more than one. So in a way, I don't know if that's a bad thing for Ethereum as people spun it, or if it's just a good thing for Cardano and other DeFi projects. And not just DeFi projects, because that wouldn't apply to social media necessarily. But anyways, Jack Dorsey down on Ethereum. It doesn't seem to have affected the price. Everything is up in the world of cryptocurrency for the most part. XRP over $1, which I mentioned yesterday. Again, why a couple companies onboarding on XRP in China in particular. So all good news in the cryptocurrency world right now. Although I did mention BlockFi, and I was talking to some friends about BlockFi over the last week, And basically, the main thing I want to point out is because I talk a lot about BlockFi and its interest rates and everything, but also just be aware that places like BlockFi, I don't believe this will happen. But the way that they are structured, they're not FDIC insured or anything like that. And the agreement that you click on when you sign up for BlockFi makes it so that essentially BlockFi could evaporate tomorrow and take all your cryptocurrency and all your stable coins that you have on there, and you're fucked essentially. That there's no insurance on it, so be careful with the amount you put on BlockFi. Make sure you feel that the risk is worth the reward, because it's very appealing even just to hold your money on there, where you can put to buy stable coins. I believe it would be GUSD in this country. But you can buy stable coins on BlockFi and earn 7.5% interest, compounded monthly. So essentially, if you put $100 on there, it's 2 cents a day you're making, which doesn't seem like a lot, but hey, put $5,000-$10,000 on there and see how much you're making, and compare that to any bank where a lot of them offer negative interest rates, or no interest rates, or at most under 1% for sure, like very, very limited as far as interest rates in just regular banks. So places like Celsius and BlockFi do have advantages, but they also have significant disadvantages. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that it's not just this, hey, why aren't we? The reason we all don't have BlockFi and just don't earn 7.5% interest on our money is because it is essentially riskier. Now, I do trust BlockFi as a company. I think some of the monitoring that has been done on them in states like New Jersey is actually a good thing, because it shows they are being watched and adhering to some regulations. But it is definitely a risk. So I always wanted to make sure I said that, so that I'm not this proponent of BlockFi. But I don't show you the negatives at all. So I think that's about it today. Stock market. The only thing I wanted to say about the stock market is, the more people I talk to, Craig on my program the other night said, at his job, he goes around to restaurants and everything, and they've been telling him, hey, just so you know, we're going to start masking up pretty soon. You hear a lot of places start getting ready for masks, and what comes after masks is probably some other type of shutdown. I don't want to talk. This is not the program where we talk about the lockdowns or anything like that, but I just want you guys to be kind of aware that, hey, we're in summer now, when flu numbers go down and everything. So as we get closer to the winter, we may be gearing up for some sort of restrictions coming back. And the reason I bring that up is because we will see probably a significant decrease in the stock market that goes along with that. So I guess I just want to warn you guys not to panic. If you see a stock market correction or crash or whatever sort of dip we have, don't panic if it's lockdown related, because hopefully we would come out of that eventually and your long-term investments would be fine. Or we never come out of it, and then who really cares about anything at that point? It's anarchy. So do with that information what you will. I hope it's useful to you. I hope you use it to do your own research. And if you disagree with anything I said, or anything I said is way off base and I don't realize it, let me know in the comments, because your help will help other people. Other people will read the comments and say, oh, good, Mike's an idiot, I'll listen to this guy. And then they can do their own research on said topic. And if you have any stocks or anything like that, crypto, whatever, that you're interested in that I don't bring up, let me know. Let me know in the comments, and I will certainly talk about it. I think that's it. If you like more on money and you want more of it, on Sundays and Thursdays for subscribers, go to patreon.com/blindmike. And like I said, a free way to support us, liking, subscribing, do all the things that every single video you watch tells us to do. If you would be so kind, and tell a friend if they'd like it as well. All right. We'll be back Sunday on Patreon. Until then, keep making money. I can't end like that. Keep making money, folks.